There is power in the prayer you whisper through tears. There comes a time in every life where the weight becomes too much to carry alone. Dreams feel out of reach. The days blur. You wake up tired. You go to bed heavier. And the worst part, no one around you seems to understand the storm that's raging inside. But let me tell you something real. Your prayer is not a small thing. That whisper in the night, that silent cry for help when no one's watching. That moment where you break down and beg for strength you no longer have, that's not weakness. That's your turning point. You see, there's a strength that only shows up when you're empty. There's a hope that rises only when everything else falls away. When you've got nothing left but your faith, you realize that faith is more than enough. You're not praying because you've given up. You're praying because deep inside you still believe something can change. And that belief, that's the seed of miracles. This is the time to rise, not because it's easy, but because something inside you refuses to quit. This is the time to speak life over your pain, to believe again, even if your voice shakes. The prayer you pray today is laying bricks under your feet for tomorrow. Every word is building your comeback. Don't let the darkness trick you into thinking it's the end. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't a threat. You're being pressed because you carry purpose. You're being tested because your future is heavy with meaning. So breathe, cry, fall if you must. But when you do, fall into prayer and rise with fire. Because the one who hears your whispered pain is the same one who gives strength to the broken. And he's not done with you yet. You're still here, still breathing, still capable of rising. So rise with prayer. Rise because your story is not over. Before we pray, I want you to know that I truly believe what God promises, for where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am with them. So right now, I invite you to lean in with me, trust in His faithfulness, and let's believe together. If you share this faith comment, I believe. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, in the midst of an endless night, I come before you with a heavy heart and weary spirit. I stand at the edge of despair, where every shadow seems to whisper of loss, and every silence echoes the pain of isolation. I confess that in this moment, hope feels like a distant memory, a light extinguished by the relentless storm of hardship. Yet, even as I speak these words, I feel an undeniable pull deep within, a call to reach out for something beyond this overwhelming darkness. I have walked through valleys of sorrow and scaled mountains of grief, and in the solitude of my darkest hours, I have questioned the very essence of hope. I have seen the cruel hand of fate strip away the comforts of life, leaving behind a barren landscape of uncertainty and fear. I ask you now, divine source of all that is, to be present with me in this struggle, to shine a gentle light upon the path that I have long since lost sight of. May your radiance seep into the cracks of my shattered faith and remind me that even the smallest ember of hope can ignite a conflagration of transformation. In these hours of despair, I speak honestly. I am tired, and my heart is laden with burdens too heavy to bear alone. I have known nights without dreams, days without joy, and a relentless ache that no prayer seems able to mend. But I also know that in acknowledging this darkness, I open myself to the possibility of light. For it is in the acceptance of our deepest wounds that we find the raw materials for healing, a process that demands both honesty and the courage to hope again. Divine Spirit, grant me the strength to embrace the truth of my suffering, not as a defeat, but as a testament to the depth of my longing for renewal. Let my tears be the water that nourishes the parched soil of my soul, preparing it for the rebirth of hope. I do not ask for a life without struggle, for I know that the night is an integral part of the cycle of existence. Rather, I ask for the inner fortitude to persist, to continue the journey even when the road is obscured by the fog of despair. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the world is hushed and the echoes of sorrow are almost too loud to bear, I reach out to you. Remind me that even in the deepest darkness, there is a promise of a new day, a promise that has been whispered through the ages by those who have faced their own demons and emerged, scarred but resilient. Teach me that hope is not the absence of despair, but the determination to carry on in spite of it, to find meaning in the struggle, and to believe that the future can be different from the past. I acknowledge that my heart is fragile, that my spirit sometimes falters, and that my mind is often overwhelmed by the magnitude of my fears. Yet I also know that vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of authenticity and the fertile ground from which true hope can grow. Let this prayer be an act of courage, a bold declaration that even when the night is darkest, I refuse to let go of the promise of light. Help me see that every trial I endure, every tear I shed is a step on the long, winding road to healing. I call upon the wisdom of the ages, the voices of those who have trodden this path before me. Their echoes remind me that hope is a living, breathing thing, fragile yet enduring, delicate yet fierce. In their stories, I find a reflection of my own struggle and a roadmap for resilience. Let their experiences be a beacon that guides me through the labyrinth of my doubts, leading me ever closer to the truth that hope is not lost. It is waiting patiently to be rediscovered in the depths of my soul. Divine One, I lay bare my soul before you, acknowledging both the wounds that have scarred me and the potential for healing that lies within. I ask that you nurture the seed of hope that still flickers in my heart, even if it is barely a whisper amidst the clamor of despair. May it grow slowly, but surely, fed by the strength of my convictions and the support of unseen hands. Remind me that even the tiniest spark can transform the overwhelming darkness into a tapestry of light, if only given the chance. As I meditate on the enormity of my pain, I also meditate on the quiet strength that resides in the act of believing in a future that, though obscured by the present, is filled with the promise of new beginnings. I ask for the patience to endure, the humility to accept my limitations, and the courage to rise again after each fall. Help me to understand that each moment of despair is not the end, but rather a pause, a necessary interlude before the dawn of a new chapter in my life. I pray for the clarity to see that my suffering does not define me, but rather refines me. It is through the relentless challenges and heart-wrenching losses that I am being molded into a more compassionate, resilient, and authentic version of myself. Let my struggles be a testament to the transformative power of hope, a power that can take even the most broken pieces and reassemble them into something beautiful and whole. In this prayer, I do not seek to mask the darkness with false promises or empty platitudes. Instead, I honor the reality of my pain and the complexity of my emotions. I know that hope is not a magic cure, all that will erase my sorrows overnight. Rather, it is a slow, steady process of reclaiming my strength, of finding beauty in the struggle, and of daring to dream again in spite of it all. I ask you to help me hold on, to keep reaching for that distant light, even when the journey seems endless and the night eternal. Grant me the grace to accept that some days hope will be just out of reach, and that it is okay to stumble, to cry, and to feel lost. Yet, even on those days, remind me that I am never truly alone. You are with me in every heartbeat, in every silent prayer, in every moment of quiet reflection. Your presence is a constant, even when I cannot feel it directly. Let this assurance be the anchor that steadies me when the winds of despair threaten to carry me away. In my moments of doubt, when I question whether the world is capable of beauty or kindness, help me to remember that hope has always been there, quietly resilient, like the roots of an ancient tree clinging to the rocky soil. Though the storms may tear at its branches and the winter may chill its leaves, it endures, waiting for the warmth of spring to coax it back to life. So, too, I ask that my spirit may endure, that it may find the strength to root itself in the promise of renewal, even when all around me is barren and bleak. Teach me to see the beauty in small miracles, the gentle unfolding of a flower after a long winter, the soft glow of the moon on a cloudless night, the comforting murmur of the wind as it whispers through the trees. Let these simple wonders remind me that hope exists in the tiniest details, even when the grand tapestry of life seems marred by pain. In every raindrop, in every ray of light, in every heartbeat, may I find a quiet, unyielding reminder that life, in all its complexity, is worth embracing, even when it feels unbearably heavy. I pray for the inner strength to stand firm in the face of despair, to resist the pull of cynicism and resignation. Let me be a living testament to the belief that even in the darkest moments, there is a reservoir of resilience deep within the human spirit, a resilience that refuses to be extinguished no matter how fierce the tempest. May this conviction be the fire that warms my soul and guides me through the cold, unyielding nights. I also pray for those who share in this collective darkness, those whose hearts are similarly burdened, whose eyes are clouded with sorrow, and whose spirits are on the brink of surrender. May they too find a glimmer of hope, a reason to keep moving forward. Even when every step feels like wading through a mire of despair, let this prayer extend beyond my own anguish to embrace all who are struggling, a communal invocation of strength and renewal that unites us in our shared humanity. Divine Creator, I ask you to help us recognize that hope is not a destination but a journey, a series of small, deliberate steps taken in the midst of uncertainty. It is found in the willingness to keep moving forward, to dare to dream even when dreams seem fragile and ephemeral. Remind us that every setback is an opportunity for growth, every tear a testament to the depth of our capacity to feel, and every moment of silence a prelude to the symphony of rebirth. In the silent aftermath of pain, when the echoes of loss threaten to overwhelm the heart, let us find solace in the knowledge that our struggles are not in vain. They are the raw, unfiltered expressions of a soul that longs to be whole, a soul that has weathered storms and emerged, not unscathed, but unbowed. May this truth resonate within us, a constant reminder that even when the world feels cold and indifferent, the spark of hope remains, waiting to be kindled anew. I surrender my doubts, my fears, and my insecurities into your loving care, trusting that you will guide me back to a place of light and possibility. Help me to forgive myself for moments of weakness and to embrace the beauty of my imperfect journey. In the tapestry of life, every thread of sorrow is interwoven with strands of joy, and it is in the weaving together of these threads that the full picture of our existence is revealed. A picture that, though marked by scars, is also filled with resilience, beauty, and an unyielding capacity for hope. May this prayer serve as a bridge over the chasms of despair, connecting my heart to the eternal wellspring of hope that flows within all of us. In this sacred dialogue between darkness and light, may I learn to cherish the duality of existence, the interplay of pain and beauty, loss and renewal, despair and hope. For it is precisely in the crucible of adversity that the most profound transformations occur, where the spirit is tempered like steel in the heat of the forge. I pray for the wisdom to understand that hope does not always announce itself in grand gestures or miraculous revelations. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the simple act of rising each day, in the quiet determination to face another moment, and in the subtle smile that breaks through tears. Let me be sensitive to these gentle signs, recognizing them as the whispers of hope that speak to me in my moments of solitude. In this long, winding journey through the night, I commit to seeking out the light wherever it may hide, even in the crevices of my own heart. I choose to believe that beyond the darkness, there lies a horizon of endless possibility, a dawn that will one day break with the promise of new beginnings. Help me hold onto that vision, even when the present is shrouded in gloom, and let it guide me as I navigate the labyrinth of my fears. Oh, divine light, let my soul be a sanctuary for hope, a place where the weary find refuge and the broken discover the strength to rebuild. May my spirit be like a resilient flame, flickering yet unyielding, even as the winds of despair blow fiercely around me. Remind me that no matter how fierce the storm, the promise of calm and renewal is ever present, hidden within the heart of every tempest. I now open my arms to the possibility of healing, to the transformation that comes from embracing the full spectrum of my human experience. Let my sorrow not be a chain that binds me, but rather the catalyst for growth, a necessary contrast that makes the eventual return of hope all the more profound. In the interplay between shadow and light, may I come to understand that every moment of pain is also a moment of profound possibility. a chance to rediscover the beauty of life. As I speak these words, I offer them as both a cry for help and a declaration of resilience. I do not pretend that the darkness will vanish overnight, nor do I claim that the path ahead will be free of obstacles. Instead, I choose to face the truth of my existence, acknowledging the sorrow, welcoming the struggle, and daring to hope even when hope seems like a fragile, flickering candle in the vastness of night. Let these words be an honest reflection of the battle within, a testament to the reality that even in the midst of despair, the human spirit has an enduring capacity for renewal. May the echoes of my prayer reach out to all who are lost in the darkness, carrying with them the quiet assurance that hope, however small, is a flame that can never be completely extinguished. And in that flame, may we all find the strength to rise again. I ask for the courage to accept the imperfections of my journey and the wisdom to see that every setback is but a stepping stone on the path to a more profound, compassionate understanding of life. Help me to learn from the wounds of yesterday and to transform them into the building blocks of a brighter tomorrow. For in each scar lies a story, a narrative of survival, of endurance, and ultimately of hope reborn from the ashes of despair. May this prayer be a reminder that while the darkness is real, it is not absolute. The night may be long and full of terrors, but it is in the darkness that the tiniest star can shine the brightest. Allow me to be that star, a beacon of hope amid the storm, a testament to the unyielding strength of the human spirit. And in doing so, may I inspire others to search for their own light, to embrace the possibility of renewal, and to understand that hope is always within reach, even when it feels like it has been lost forever. I hold in my heart the knowledge that life is a tapestry woven with threads of both joy and sorrow, and that each thread, no matter how dark, contributes to the beauty of the whole. In this intricate design, even the blackest strands serve a purpose. They highlight the brilliance of the lighter ones, making the overall picture more vibrant and complete. So, I ask you, Divine Presence, to help me see that every moment of despair is interlaced with the potential for joy, every tear a prelude to laughter, and every wound a gateway to healing. As I stand at this crossroads of uncertainty and despair, I choose to walk forward with an open heart, ready to embrace the lessons of the past while daring to dream of a future filled with light. I acknowledge that the journey will be arduous and that the road may be fraught with obstacles, yet I also know that every step, no matter how small, is a victory, a testament to my unyielding will to survive and to thrive. I pray for the strength to face each day with courage, to meet the challenges head on, and to recognize that even in my moments of weakness, there is an inherent power waiting to be awakened. Let the fire of hope kindle within me a passion for life that no darkness can ever diminish. And when the weight of the world seems unbearable, remind me that I am part of a greater tapestry, a network of souls, each fighting their own battle, yet united by the shared pursuit of light. Divine Spirit, as I pour out my heart in this prayer, I trust in your ability to guide me through the tumultuous landscape of my emotions. I know that you do not promise an easy journey, but you do offer the solace of presence, the comfort of understanding, and the promise of eventual renewal. May these words be a testament to that trust, a vow to keep seeking, keep believing, and keep fighting, even when hope seems but a distant dream. Let this prayer be both a lament for what has been lost and a celebration of what can still be found, a recognition that in the heart of every storm lies the potential for calm. In every tear, the seed of a smile, and in every act of surrender, the promise of a new beginning. May I learn to find beauty in the struggle, to honor my pain as a vital part of my story, and to trust that, however long the night, the dawn is coming. I offer these words not as a final solution or a cure for all my ills, but as a raw and honest testament to the power of hope. I know that the road ahead will be steep, that I will falter and fall, and that the journey to healing is paved with both triumphs and setbacks. Yet, in that uncertain path, I choose to believe that every moment is a step toward renewal, every breath an act of defiance against the overwhelming odds. May the whispers of this prayer find their way to the deepest recesses of my being, stirring within me the courage to confront the darkness and to embrace the light that patiently waits on the horizon. And may I, in turn, become a source of hope for others, a living reminder that even when all seems lost, there is a spark within each of us that can ignite a fire capable of illuminating the darkest night. I close this prayer with a commitment, a solemn promise to keep seeking, to keep striving, and to keep believing, no matter how heavy the burden or how deep the sorrow. I choose to face the darkness not with resignation, but with a fierce determination to reclaim the hope that is my birthright. Let this be my prayer, my battle cry, and my testament that even in the deepest despair, the light of hope endures, waiting to guide me home. And so, divine presence, as I whisper these final words into the quiet void, I ask that you be with me in every step of this arduous journey. Strengthen my resolve, heal my wounds, and illuminate the path that lies ahead. For I know that with each new dawn, there is a chance to begin again, a chance to transform my pain into purpose, my sorrow into strength, and my despair into hope. May your light shine upon me and upon all those who wander in darkness until we find our way back to the warmth of a new day. May this prayer be a beacon of hope, a call to rise, to rebuild, and to remember that no matter how dark the night may seem, the promise of dawn is ever near. I pray, in the raw honesty of my soul and the quiet resilience of my heart, that hope will not be a forgotten word, but a living, breathing truth. May we all find the strength to face our darkest hours with courage, to endure the weight of our burdens with grace, and to believe that even in the absence of apparent light, the possibility of a brighter future remains. I offer these words as both a confession of my struggles and a declaration of my unwavering belief that, despite the trials of life, hope is a force that endures. It is the silent promise that even when everything seems lost, there is always the possibility of renewal, a possibility that calls us to rise, to fight, and to cherish the small, persistent flames of hope that flicker in the recesses of our souls. May the legacy of this prayer be one of unyielding courage, profound vulnerability, and the relentless pursuit of light in a world that often appears shrouded in darkness. And may it serve as a reminder to every weary heart that no matter how long or daunting the night, hope is the eternal promise that tomorrow may bring a new beginning, a fresh start, and a chance to rediscover the beauty that lies within and around us. I seal these words with the earnest desire that they bring comfort to the troubled, strength to the weak, and the assurance that even in the most desolate moments, the light of hope is never truly extinguished. For it is in the heart of the storm that we find our truest strength, and it is through the crucible of pain that our spirits are forged anew. Amen.